And I am so happy to be bringing you this video from the farm where I left from last summer. I'm back. I'm doing a house sitting gig here while my friend is traveling, and it's fabulous. I was gone for 6 months from this area that I love so much in the city, getting treatments, a variety of treatments to help me get myself healthier and on a new path. And I feel that I have accomplished that. It's been very exciting. First of all, I just want to say I did not get here alone. And there's so many people who have helped along through these very challenging years when I've been disabled and been unable to work, and then during my journey coming off pharmaceuticals, being homeless, being displaced, being very sick physically, emotionally, and spiritually. There have been many people who have prayed for me and sent me good energy. There have been people who have given me rides, come a long distance and drove me to places where I needed treatment. There are people who gave me a place to rest my head. There's people who gave me a place to park my trailer. I always worked for that, but still, I'm grateful for that. The various counselors and doctors and all the staff, I've had some really excellent treatment. I've had some glitches along the way. I've had some learning times. I've had aha moments, but I've had a lot of outstanding care. I have to kind of pat myself on the back and give myself a little thanks here too, because I have braved going upstream on much of what I've done. Coming off pharmaceuticals and doing it the way that I've done it is not widely recognized by Western medicine. Many people still don't understand all the terrible, terrible harms that can be done due to long-term use of psychological pharmaceuticals such as antidepressants, benzodiazepines, opiates, which aren't a psychological pharmaceutical, but they do have some significant issues which we're hearing about all across the nation and worldwide. Well, benzos is the next one, and antidepressants is the next one. There was not enough studies done on these medicines to have any idea of what the long-term use could do to a person and how they could suffer coming off of them. And suffer we have, those of us that have been on this journey of trying to take back our health. It's very difficult. So I'm just so grateful. I'm so grateful for kindnesses, for prayers, for help. There have been financial helps. And I've worked really hard this whole time too. You know, I've never just sat down and sat back and said, take care of me. I've always been participatory and engaged and trying with every ounce of my being to move forward. And I am. So I took my very last pharmaceutical on January 1st, 2018. That is a miracle, people. It's really a miracle. I have had a 25-year history longer of 25-year history of being medicated and being polydrugged. And I almost lost my life trying to come off these medications. And the Western medicine community was really of no help. All they would do when things would get really difficult was put me on new medicines. And so the fact that I don't take anything anymore and that I've totally come off them, it's just, it kind of blows my mind. I mean, it just, in fact, I was looking for a pill bottle for something to put something in the other day. And I used to have dozens of them laying around. You know, I'd keep the empties. I couldn't find one last night. It's like, this is a testimony to what I've gone through. I don't have a pill bottle anywhere. It's awesome. One of the best things about being back is I've got Shasta. Hi, baby. Yes. I've got my dog. And, you know, having to leave her it was hard for both of us. You know, she's a rescue dog, and it took me 6 months of being hurting before I could say, okay, I'm willing to give her up to go get the help that I need. I've shared it, and I'll share it again. I relapsed with gambling after having 7 years of recovery. And I didn't even recall it the night that it happened. After it happened, the shame and the guilt of being, having messed up, because that's how it's looked at in recovery circles, and how bad my life was. I was homeless. I was in my truck. I didn't know what was going on. Pardon my French, but I got the fuck-ups. And I called trying to get help right away, because it was when I was in Salem that this happened last winter. And I called trying to get help right away, but I couldn't keep my dog with me. And I was so downtrodden last winter from all the turmoil of losing my home, losing all my stuff, being estranged from all of my loved ones because I just can't cope right now, and haven't been able to deal with that kind of stuff. I couldn't give her up too. And so while I wasn't out there severely damaging myself, and I didn't have the finances to, when I would go to town, I was gambling. It wasn't a big amount. It was, I would do my chores, and whatever cash I had left, I'd gamble. Part of it was being homeless and wanting to have some shelter if it was really cold or if it was really hot or we had all the smoke. I could be indoors. Part of it was my addiction, and that is just it. And part of it was my brain being so broken from coming off all these meds. But I called back then in March last year, and they said, you can't have your dog. And I just could not see around letting go of her then. And so I had to go through what I had to go through. And, you know, I camped all summer, and I tried to get money to get a RV together, but it was everything I could just to earn a little bit of money and just to try to make ends meet and try to keep my truck going. And it was all I could do. And so having her with me again and having her sleep with me, and I'm never going to be separated from her again. I just can't. She is my life, and I'm grateful she was able to stay here on this farm, and she was with my best friend who loves her and takes good care of her, and she got to sleep on her bed. But it was hard on both of us, and it took a toll. And so I'm going to do everything I can to not let that happen again. So I still have some symptoms. I have neuropathy in my feet. I still get at times severe burning pain in my arms and my feet. I can struggle with word finding. I can be having a conversation and lose track and not be able to recall at all, even if someone gives me a prompt. I still have what I call fairy dust in my eyes, it just is real floaty stardust. I don't know how else to describe it. And I have trouble with my vision. Pardon me, I'm getting over a cold. I still am easily fatigued. It's very hard to stay focused at times. I have to change what I'm doing because I just can't stay on task for too long. I still have a lot of itching. My skin's kind of crawly, so I itch, in fact, to the point that other people notice it. I have bladder spasms. I'm always running to the restroom, frequent urination. I crave salt, which is, I never did before now, and I crave salt. I still get easily irritated. I do no longer rage. Yay! Because that was one of the worst symptoms. It was terrifying, and I'm so glad I don't do that anymore. But I do still get irritable, unfortunately, easy. I'm mindful of it. I try to arrest it and take some deep breaths, but I do get easily irritated. I'm very sensitive to sounds, aromas, light, touch. I still have chest tightness, but I had an angiogram in December, and they said my heart's fine, so I'm not letting that stop me. I do still have some air hunger. I still occasionally have waves of depression or waves of anxiety. I still have tearfulness that hits, but it's nothing compared to what it was. Pardon me. I've got to take a drink here. It's nothing at all compared to what it was. I am able to be up most of the day. I still have to take a lot of breaks, but I'm sleeping probably 50% of the time, at least. I'm sleeping 6 hours a night, solid, and it's fabulous. And for people who struggle with insomnia, you don't even know. So it's really great to be able to sleep. My hope level is ding, 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 ding. It's way up there. And I am attributing that to being off the medications. Just feeling feelings, but also being able to generate motivation based on motivation. If you understand that, it's kind of like I get going on something and it kind of gets me motivated, and so I use that motivation to catapult me further along my forward momentum I'm trying to go on. And I wasn't able to do that when I was on the meds. I just wasn't able. I'd have something happen, I'd get a little help, I'd get kind of stable, and then it would just be, well, this is it. And my life wasn't very good on all the medications. In fact, it got worse and worse and worse. And so it's been getting better and better and better in spite of all the symptoms, in spite of all the losses. So I have this hope. I have enough hope. I can share it with others that don't have it right now. And that is a gift. To have hope to share, to be able to hold a place of hope for someone else that is suffering how I did back then, that is a gift to me. That is a gift, and I am so grateful for that gift. Pardon me. Dang, I was not going to cry. I am doing much better about not crying all the time, but I still do get emotional. And it's just part of my personality. It is the way I'm going to be. So anyway, many of you know that I'd been on a journey to find an RV. And I have looked and looked and looked. And I had no money. And I've been trying to get disability. And I'm still waiting. And it's in the process. And, oh, that's another whole different story. But I had this wonderful thing happen. My friend has helped me find an RV, and so she has helped me secure a loan, and I have to make payments. but I got a really, it's a used little RV, and it's a 22-foot Toyota. It's a 91, and it is been thoroughly gone over and has a bunch of new, like new drivetrain, new tires, all new belts and hoses. So it's really mechanically sound. It has all the features that I need of a toilet, a shower. It does have a generator that doesn't work. It has a 4-burner stove. It has an oven. It has a bed. It does not leak that I can tell. So I have some options of places to park it that I am being evaluated for. There are a couple farms that are interested in having me there to help with chores in exchange for rent. So that's where some of my energy is going to go, is just to keep I want stability. I want to stay at one place, and so get my RV set up somewhere and just park it somewhere. If you've not done RV living, you don't drive these RVs around every day and do your daily life. You set up where you're going to be, and you have another vehicle that you drive around. They are not designed to be a daily driver. They will start having leaks. Things will break down, as well as I don't have the energy to pack all my stuff up every night to move it. So I'm going to find a place where I can park it, and that is part of the agreement with my friend, is that it's parked somewhere. You use it to live in. And so I have that going. I also have, as I'm doing here, I'm doing farm sitting for her, which is going to probably be part of my first payment, and that's just fine. And I have other farm sits set up. You know, where I'm located at, it is very agriculture. It is in southern Oregon. It's all these little tiny communities along a country highway. Most of them are between 5 and 10 miles apart. It's 25 miles to any major town to do shopping or business or doctor's appointments. But I tried so hard to find work back in Salem. I tried to see if I could make it work there, even though I was so terribly unhappy not being in the country. And I could not find anything that I could do. I have made a name for myself here. There are people that know me. I have done work for other people, and while I cannot go out and work a 40-hour work week, and I certainly have not been able to work enough to be self-sustaining, I can make my basic needs met, which my basic needs are my phone, dog food, fuel for propane, paying for electricity, paying for food that my food stamps doesn't cover. You know, I've literally been surviving on about $300 a month for a number of years. In 2017, I worked, I maybe made, $200 in January, and in May, June, and July, I maybe made $600 each month, and that's all I've made all year. And I could not just stay on someone's couch and presume they were going to let me stay there till I get disability. That's not my style. I do everything I can to be self-sufficient. So my only problem I'm left to really, that's holding me up right now, is my truck broke down in August and blew a head gasket, and the engine had overheated a number of times, and so it needs a new engine or a rebuild. And I'm not sure how I'm going to do that, so I'm probably going to be seeking some help, because I simply can't function without a vehicle. And you know, I've exhausted all my avenues of help. You know, my friend has already helped me get a home. All my other friends have helped me as much as they can with rides, with letting me have a place to stay, and I can't make money until I get a rig. But I am really hopeful, and I feel very confident that the things that I have going on, I'm lined up to go back to work, or to go to Voc Rehab to get my nursing license reinstated. I need a vehicle to do that. I have to go 25 miles to town to do that. I'll have to go do clinicals to do that. I have hopes of starting a health coaching and mentoring business to help other people who've suffered with fibromyalgia or PTSD or any kind of chronic pain, or coming off pharmaceuticals and who want to use cannabis as an alternative modality, who want to learn about various modalities for managing emotional regulation and for accepting limitations that have hit your life and still feel like you can have goals and feel successful and achieve dreams. I want to do that because I have seen so much on this journey. I've grown so much, and I think that I have a lot to share. So I share these videos hoping that it'll help at least one person. Just one. If it helped one person, thank you. Because there were so many times during this journey that I just felt nobody understood and that no one had been there. And I'm so grateful that I found the benzodiazepine recovery groups and the harmed by Big Pharma groups and the fibromyalgia groups and my cannabis community and my community here in Southern Oregon that is welcoming me back and telling me, yes, you do belong here, and we saw what you went through, and we are glad you're here, and we are going to celebrate as you go forward. I have something going on here, and there's a reason that I'm back here. And so I just wanted to celebrate with you on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. Who could ask for a more lovely day? And tomorrow marks 18 months since I came off benzos. And 20 months since I came off opiates. I'm winning. I am winning. And you can win too. So, hang in there if you're struggling. Utilize the rooms to get gaining of understanding of what benzo withdrawal is. What coming off psychiatric drugs are. There's lots of rooms for Effexor and Prozac and all of those wonderful medications they give us to feel better that make us feel worse. That's my experience. So thanks for watching. There is hope. I'm holding it for you if you can't do it yourself. All right? Y'all take care, and